Solve the system of equations shown below algebraically. So first thing I notice is that the y is by itself here. So I'm going to use the substitution method, and I'm going to substitute in 3x plus 2 for y. So we get 6x minus 2 times 3x plus 2 equals 8. That's 6x minus, we'll distribute the 2, minus 6x, and then negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. 6x minus 6x is 0. So we have negative 4 equals 8. That's not true. So this tells us that there's no solution to this problem. So what happened when we tried to solve the system was the x's canceled out. And the equation was not true. So there is no solution. Graph the system of equations. How does the graph explain what happened with the equations? So the first equation is y equals 3x plus 2. So we'll start at 0, 2, and we'll go up 3 and over 1. So here's our first line. Our second line is not in y equals mx plus b form. So we have to do 6x minus 2y equals 8. We're going to have to solve for y. So we'll subtract 6x from both sides. Negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 8. Then we'll divide by negative 2 on both sides. So we get y equals negative 6 divided by negative 2 is 3x. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. So one thing I noticed is that the equations have the same slope. So that tells me that they're going to be parallel. But let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I go up 3 and over 1. So they are parallel. How does the graph of the system explain what happened with the equations? So the lines are parallel. Which means they never intersect. So there is no solution. Alright, solve the following diamond problems. So remember with the diamond problem, we add to make the top and multiply, or no, we multiply to make the top and we add to make the bottom. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. 4 plus negative 6 is negative 2. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 plus 10 is 16. Negative 5 plus 11 is 6. Negative 5 times 11 is negative 55. This one's tricky because we're given this. So what times 4 equals 20? That's 5. 5 plus 4 equals 9. For each of the functions below, explain how the graph is transformed from the parent graph. So how is x squared plus 3 transformed from the parent graph? So one thing that I know is I'm going to write down, I know that y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. I know that k is usually our vertical shift, h is our horizontal shift, and a is stretch or compression. So I noticed that this plus 3 is not inside these parentheses, so this is my vertical shift. So I know that this is going to be shifted up 3. This one is multiplied times x. So that's going to be my a value. The a value tells you the vertical stretch or compression. So if it's greater than 1, it's going to give you a stretch. If it's less than 1, it'll give you a compression. So this is going to stretch the graph by a factor of 2. So it's going to be a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Here I notice that the minus 3 is inside the parentheses, just like minus h. So that tells me that this is going to be a horizontal shift, and it's going to shift to the right. So it's a horizontal shift to the right, 3. All right, in these last equations, we need to solve for x. So first I'm going to add 11 on both sides. So I get 6x equals 4x plus 23. Then I'll subtract 4x. 2x equals 23. Divide by 2. And we get x equals 23 over 2, which is 11.5. For the second one, I need to distribute first. So we get 6x minus 10 equals 6x minus 4. I'll subtract 6x from both sides. Those cancel out on both sides, and I get negative 10 equals negative 4, which is not true. So that tells me there is no solution to this problem. X over 25 equals 7 over 10. So to solve this problem, first I'm going to undo the fractions by multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 10 on both sides. That cancels that out. So I have 10x over 25 equals 7. Now I'm going to multiply by 25 on both sides. The 25's cancel, so I'm left with 10x equals 7 times 25. Well, I know 8 times 25 is 200 because there's 4 25s in 100. So 7 times 25 must be 175. Divide by 10, and I get x equals 17.5. For this last problem, I don't like a 3 in this fraction right here. So I'm going to multiply the whole equation times 3. That will undo this fraction. But then I need to multiply that x times 3, and I'll get 3x. Multiplying that times 3 undoes the fraction. And then 3 times 4, so I get 3x plus x equals 3 times 4 is 12. 3x plus x is 4x. Divide by 4, and we get x equals 3.